So it seems like every year Black Friday is happening earlier and earlier in November, and with Amazon it's no different. Their Black Friday deals are starting on November 20th, and they're having some of the best Apple deals that I've ever seen. They have some great deals on MacBook Airs, on MacBook Pros, on iPads, on AirTags, AirPods Pro. So in this video we're going to go down the list and talk about the best deals that they have for Apple related hardware, and stay tuned because we have a second video coming out on some Apple related accessories, as well as just overall tech accessories that are going to be heavily discounted this time of year. So without further ado, let's talk about all things Apple hardware and where you should spend your hard-earned money during Black Friday. Let's get into it. But now before we continue, if you do enjoy videos like this one where we talk to you about all things Apple, consider subscribing to the channel, but let's get into the Mac category first because there's some crazy deals with MacBook Airs right now. Now I will say that most of the products I'm going to be mentioning are the baseline versions and the baseline models because those are going to be the ones that are most heavily discounted. Most of these computers and iPads will have also some deals on those higher configurations, but the best deals and the cheapest bang for buck is going to be on the baseline version, but play around with the little configurator on Amazon to understand which is going to be the best deal for you. But to start off, we have to talk about the M4 MacBook Air. The M4 MacBook Air is an amazing device that kind of does everything that you would ever need it to. I recently released a video of the M4 MacBook Air being the best value laptop of all time, because right now it's sitting at $749 for the 13-inch version, and then $949 for the 15-inch version. For that, you're getting the M4 chip, 16 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage, all-day battery life up to 18 hours, and depending on which one you go with, either a 13-inch Liquid Retina display or a 15-inch Liquid Retina display. So if you need that all-in-one laptop that's going to get the job done for 95% of people, this one is an absolute no-brainer at $750. I remember getting an i7 MacBook Air for like $1,700 in 2019, and this one blows it out of the water and then some. And then Apple's latest product, their M5 chip and their M5 MacBook Pro, is also heavily discounted, going from $1,600 down to $1,450. So if you are looking for a little bit more oomph, and you do want the mini LED display, you want the SD card slot, the HDMI port, you want a little bit more from a hardware standpoint, you want the fan, you want 512 gigs of internal storage, this one's going to be a great deal for those people that want a little bit more. So for $1,450, you're going to get a lot of computer out of the new M5 MacBook Pro. And now if you are kind of in the desktop world and you already have all the peripherals you need, you have a keyboard, you have a trackpad, you have a mouse, you have a nice display already, nothing's going to beat the M4 Mac Mini. The M4 Mac Mini is a powerhouse computer and it's only $499. So if you've been yearning to get yourself an M4 or even an M5 machine, and now's going to be the time because they're very heavily discounted, and I know that after this stock is done, they go right back up to the normal price point. So definitely check out the links below for the latest versions and the latest pricing on all the products that we mentioned in this video. And there are some other discounted products like the iMac and the Mac Studio, but those are only discounted about 5%, so jump in there and see if you find something that's worth it for you. These are just the ones that I wanted to show off because they are so heavily discounted and the value you get is absolutely unmatched. But now let's get into the iPads, because the iPads, as you guys know, my iPad Pro is my main computer, it's my beloved machine, I use it every single day. And unfortunately, the M5 iPad Pro is not getting many deals whatsoever. You're probably only going to see anywhere from 3 to 7% off on the iPad Pros, but still, it is a nice little discount. And I will leave a link down below, but some of the better deals are going to be for all the other iPads. For instance, the regular iPad Mini 7 is going to be $379, where normally it's going to be $499. That's the A17 chip, that's going to be the Apple Intelligence version, and just a great machine that works as an iPad in the way that it's intended. I love the iPad Mini, we have one in the house and we use it in so many different ways. Also, the M3 iPad Air, the 11-inch version, is going to be $449, meaning that the M3 iPad Air is going to be cheaper than the retail price of the iPad Mini 7, which is just absolutely mind-blowing. So if you don't really care about the high-end hardware like the tandem OLED display, the Thunderbolt port, the thin form factor of the iPad Pro, you get a lot of machine and you can do pretty much 98% of the things you do on the iPad Pro, you can now do it on that M3 iPad Air for $449. And then if you just want the truest form of iPad, which in my opinion is going to be the iPad 11, then that one's going to be discounted to $279, which is a no-brainer. And I mean, that's literally cheaper than the Magic Keyboard that you need to get for the iPad Air and the iPad Pro. And you get a whole iPad that runs iPadOS 26. And that's the beauty about all these iPads. The new windowing system, the new multitasking, all the new applications that came with iPadOS 26, all that can be run on any of these iPads, not just something like the iPad Pro. So even the $279 iPad can do what a $2,000 iPad Pro can do. The more you know. Next up in terms of deals, we gotta talk about the Apple Watches, because the Apple Watches have a couple surprises here. So first off, the Apple Watch Ultra 3, which already comes with cellular connectivity, only has one version in either black or the regular natural titanium color, is gonna be discounted $100 to $699 versus $799. So if you want that rugged all-day battery life, you want the best of the best when it comes to Apple Watches, and you're okay with a kind of a larger form factor, then the Apple Watch Ultra at $100 off is a great deal. Then you have the new Apple Watch Series 11. That one's going to be discounted $50 to $349 for the entry-level one versus $399, but I think the steal here is going to be the Apple Watch SE, because the Apple Watch SE 3 has a lot of the same hardware components of the latest Apple Watch Series 11, like the same chipset, the same internal storage. It's lacking a couple sensors like the O2 sensor and the ultra wideband sensor and things like that, but the Apple Watch SE is only $199. Sure, the display isn't as nice as the Apple Watch Series 11, but if you're just going to wear an Apple Watch for workouts and for sleep tracking, the Apple Watch SE at $199 gets you a lot of bang for buck. So definitely consider that one if you are looking to get yourself an Apple Watch. And now let's get into the AirPods, because I think AirPods are that gift that a lot of people end up getting for each other because they're right under that $250 and lower price point, so it's not as hard of a purchase as something like an actual computer at $500 plus or an iPad and things like that. So let's start off with the cheapest ones and then work our way up to the AirPods Pro 3. First, you have the AirPods 4, the ones without active noise cancellation. Those are normally $129. Those are going to be dropped down to $85. So if you just want kind of the cheapest way to get into the AirPods world, to get that kind of masterful ecosystem stuff, the translation, all the good stuff that comes with AirPods, minus the silicone tips as well as minus active noise cancellation, then $85 I think is a great price for something like the AirPods 4. Then you have the active noise cancellation version, which I think is fine for most people if you do want to get into that. Those are normally $179. Those are going to be $119 for Black Friday. And then when it comes to the AirPods Pro, unfortunately I couldn't find the AirPods Pro 2 anymore, but if you can find them renewed, they're around $159 and you get a lot of awesome features with the AirPods Pro 2, and they're still great headphones at the end of the day. But the newest ones, the AirPods Pro 3, aren't really heavily discounted. You'll be lucky to find them at around $229, which is about $20 off. Still better than spending the $250, but definitely be on the lookout for the AirPods Pro 3 being discounted either $20 or $30 moving forward for those AirPods Pro 3, because those are Apple's latest headphones and they're the latest and greatest, and I knew that they weren't going to heavily discount these because these sell like hotcakes for Apple regardless. And the last couple things I wanted to mention here are going to be AirTags. So AirTags for the single version is going to be an all-time low of $17 for one single AirTag. And then if you want the 4-pack, and also an all-time low of $64.99 for the AirTag, which comes out to be almost the same exact price as just a single one. You get them a little bit cheaper if you get the 4-pack, but again, $65 for something that's normally $100, or $17 for a single pack that's normally $29. And then you have some other smaller discounts, like the Apple Pencil Pro is $30 off, so it's $99 instead of $130. You have something like the Magic Trackpad, which I believe is 8% off right now, so it's $109 versus $130. So some of the peripherals are discounted, not all of them unfortunately, but those are the main things that I wanted to show off. The headliner for me is going to be that M4 MacBook Air, because you get so much computer, and this time of year is going to be great to get the gifts for people going to school, going to work. It's great for the holiday season, and those things, as well as the Mac Mini, are something that's going to fly off the shelves in my opinion. So again, I believe these prices are while the stock lasts, so jump on them while you can, but let me know in the comment down below if you plan on picking any of these up. Have you picked one of these up already? Have you seen prices this low before? Always curious to know what your guys' purchasing kind of mindset is when it comes to these deals. Do you wait till the end of the year to pick these up? I'm always curious to know, but that'll do it for this video, everybody. If you did make it to the end, leave a little dolphin. And if you did end up purchasing something from this video, definitely leave a comment down below, because I'm always curious to know what you guys end up picking up. But that'll do it, everybody. If you want to watch more videos like this one, click out one of these right here. And like I said, we have an accessories video right around the corner, so definitely stay tuned. Peace, everybody.